Hello everyone. My topic for February 2021 is self-care because it is such an important aspect to our resilience, taking care of ourselves as individuals. But this week I'm talking about resilient teams. We are working in really difficult times. We have huge amounts of uncertainty. Everybody is dealing with a pandemic that we've never dealt with before. Our working circumstances have changed. Our working lives and our personal lives are challenging. And every business needs to have teams that can roll with it and can tough it out. And being tough is a less glamorous word for resilient. What we really want is tough, resilient teams that can go with it. Now, resilience doesn't happen simply because you employed tough people. Resilience in a team is something that a leader deliberately fosters. It's something that a leader is conscious of. And that consciousness will cause any team leader to make possible, to encourage, to model the activities and behaviors and characteristics that make for resilience. There are 8 characteristics of resilient teams. The first is that they spend time together. Now there's a funny thing. Why is it important for a team to spend time together? Because spending time together builds relationships. Building relationships fosters trust. And when times are tough, you need to know that your teammates have got your back. You ought to be playing, I use a tennis analogy, a doubles match with your colleagues and not playing singles with them across the net. And spending time together is really important for that. The second characteristic that resilient teams have is that they have coping ability. They have the ability to roll with whatever life throws at them. Instead of getting into a panic, they get together, they have a look at what the challenge is, and they figure out a response. It's a coping skill. So you will not see resilient team members shooting from the hip. You will see that they in fact have the ability to slow things down when they need to. So coping ability is a second characteristic of resilient teams. A third characteristic of resilient teams is focus and commitment. They know what their most important priorities are. They know what their most important deliverables are. And that is what they focus on. They make commitments to each other, they deliver on those commitments, and they don't allow their energy to become scattered. And it's very easy for your energy to become scattered when you are working and living in a world that keeps throwing unpredicted and unpredictable curveballs at you. A fourth characteristic that you'll find in resilient teams is appreciation. They appreciate one another. They value one another. They express their appreciation for one another. In a sense, they have good manners, and they don't lose sight of the fact that riding out tough times is a team sport. So their value and appreciation for one another actually boosts the trust that happens in a team. A fifth characteristic in resilient teams is communication. They talk to each other. They discuss things. They resolve conflict. They share information. They share successes. They talk about their disappointments. But communication, communication, communication. They talk about stuff. They don't leave stuff unsaid and unresolved. The sixth characteristic is understanding. They take the time to understand what each person in the team is dealing with. They take the time to understand the details of the problems that might be coming their way. And it's on the basis of deep understanding of both individuals and the issues that they are able to design successful responses to those problems or issues. The seventh characteristic you'll find is there is structure. Everybody has a clear role. Everybody has clear responsibilities. There are clear processes and procedures to follow. People follow those processes and procedures. They have structured ways of tackling things. And the structure creates order. And order helps people to sift through the chaos and find the simple solutions that are on the other side of the complexity that they're dealing with. And the final characteristic of resilient teams is that they learn. They learn together. When mistakes happen, and they do, when problems happen, and they do, when the unpredictable happens, and it does, the team gets together and they talk about what happened and what made that possible, and what can we learn from that, and what do we need to change so that it won't happen again in the future. Accompanying this video is an article with more detail on each one of these characteristics, and my challenge to you as the leader of a team is to share this video and the article with your team and have the team rate its own resilience. And having rated its own resilience, have the team design tactics, responses, actions, changes that will further enhance their resilience.